to know it all like yourself. You should have known that I should have covered our tracks. Hey man, you fight a stupid for a waste man. Go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me.
Good boy, double bass, we come.
Yo.
Yo, I see you nodding your head there, Trims. Was you about to spit some bars?
I was thinking about it, man. That intro music that we've got, that was
yeah.
produced by Bear. It gets me every time, man. Really like that intro. Shout out to Bear. So yeah, man, let's get it.
Yes. Okay. Welcome to Don't Trip. All right. So the new home of football. All right. So just for those that have never listened to us before, we are a football podcast. We try to stay focused on football. None of that other controversial rubbish. All right. And we might have some controversial opinions, but we definitely debate. We do not argue. It might sound like argument, but it's definitely debating. And we have grown folks with grown opinions. Myself, JR, I'm your host, and we have to the left, Malak Trim. Introduce yourself, brother.
Trimmer, how you doing, peeps? How you doing? You good? Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe.
Okay, and then we've got Tiny the G.
Yes, big up people. Tiny the Godfather myself.
And then we've got Colm, who's in the studio, live and direct.
Yeah, big up, guys. How we doing?
Come on. All good, man. Has everyone had a good week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
productive.
No, busy.
Love
Busy,
them.
non-stop. So let's get straight into it. All right. So we start off with the topics for today. So to start off with, Arne Slot, the best record at Liverpool. So now, this is an interesting one for me personally, because I think that a lot of people did not expect him to do well. I think people thought, oh, he's just another bald guy. And they saw how the other bald guy is doing at Man United and thought, well, he's not really done well. But actually, looking at the record of Arne Slot at home, he's done fantastic. We do have our local Liverpool fan in Trimzini. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about that record? Do you feel it's justified, lucky, or deceiving? What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think. I think what it is we've been fortunate. I can't take away the fact that he's actually done it. The fact that he's had 9 wins out of 10. Yeah, fantastic. But at the same time, I do think that the run that we've had is quite favourable. So yeah, he's done. Obviously, he's won 2 in the Champions League, but the rest we haven't really had much of a test as yet. So for now, I'd say it looks like luck, and again, we will find out what that challenge is like, because after the international break, we'll be playing against Chelsea, who seem to be in not bad form. And we do have a few games leading up. So, but he has also he's inherited a good squad from Jurgen Klopp as well. So it's it's going to be an interesting ride, and I think that as far as I think the next game, I think the next 5 to 10 games are going to be very interesting, and we'll find out what he's really made of. That's my thoughts on that.
What do you think, Tiny?
Yeah, just like Trim said, really, they've had quite a nice run for the start of the season, to be fair. And the manager, Klopp, left him with a good team. So it's just about implementing what he wants within the players and execution. I think they've started very well. They can't complain. And yeah. Really. Yeah,
Cool.
like Trim said, I think the next few games will be the testing time, because I think they've got Arsenal in that bunch of games, Chelsea, a few Champions League games in there as well. So yeah, I think this is the testing time for them after the internationals.
Cool. And Cole?
Yeah, I mean, he's done all right, hasn't he? Let's be honest, he's done better than all right, to be fair. I think the fact that Liverpool have managed to keep as many players as what they have done, you know, your Salahs, Van Dijks and everybody like that, has massively helped Slot do what he's done, because, I mean, they're season pros now in the Premier League. I think if they had a bit of a massive haul and a big change in player-wise as well, it might not have gone as well for him.
Mm.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think to kind of echo what everyone's kind of said is that Liverpool have been very fortunate for two reasons: one, squad, and two, fixtures. I think the real test will be the next couple of months. But to show some respect is you still have to get it done. You still have to win the games. Like, you still have to be able to communicate the message that you want. And you can see that they are playing a different kind of football from Klopp's football. So I've got to respect that you've gone from real rock and roll football to a bit more patient, with some quick transitions in it. But I think that actually, in some ways, you started to see the best of some of your players, like even like Luis Diaz. I think he's been shining really this season. I think last season and even like the season before, you could see the talent, but the output was like hit and miss, but it feels a bit consistent now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. And I think another testament to what he thought of the squad is that you only signed one, like you signed a goalkeeper, which you loaned back, and then Chiesa, right?
And Chiesa, yeah. No, yeah.
I think that's really just saying I'm happy with what I have. And again, you've conceded 2 goals, right? 2 goals in 7 games in the Premier League, and the only 2 teams that have there's only 1 team or 2 teams with a better record, a better record. Actually, no, there isn't. There isn't a team better record. So the only other team that comes close to you has conceded 6 goals.
6.
So, I mean, you're doing something right. So I'll give that respect. But, you know, we'll go into a bit deeper a bit later about your up and coming fixtures, because well, let's hear what you have to say about that. But yeah, well done to Arne Slot. But the final thing I'd say on that, so with this in mind, and I know you spoke about, okay, the tests are coming, how confident are you in like challenging for the title based on what you've seen so far?
I think it's too soon to talk about the title. We're only a few games in. I think it would be, and especially with an unknown manager. I don't know enough about him. I don't know how. Obviously, it's the honeymoon period. I think I've mentioned this before, but the team have taken to him really well. But you know, once we, I don't want to mention it because I don't want to bring anything onto us. But things like injuries, possibly cards, whatever. You know what it's like, the bumps in the road throughout the whole of that Prem. I don't really think it. I think it would be. I don't know. I don't see anything about it. We're doing well. I think that's the easiest thing to stick with at the moment. But if we, it's possible that we could revisit this at Christmas. At Christmas, seeing what we've done for half of the season, I think I might have a better outlook on where we would be for something like talking about next May.
So you don't believe you'll win?
I spoke earlier. Obviously, we spoke in the group, and I said that I think with the run that City have the at the end of the year, I think the last real challenging game would be like I think it's the 25th of February. After that, there's no real challenges for City. So I still think it's City. Even though they don't have Rodri at the moment, I still think it's City at the moment. So as far as Liverpool actually doing anything, then I don't even know what the odds are. I don't even know what the odds are for Liverpool to win the title. I don't think we're favourites. So yeah.
Well, let's find out.
I'm keeping it under me hat.
Are you a betting man yourself?
No, not really. No. Don't bet. I bet on myself.
Big man.
Yeah, I'll always bet on me.
Cool. Well, I'll just wait for that to load up, and then we'll see
Yeah.
what we're looking. All right. So, I think you mentioned something that kind of goes on to the next subject. To be honest, you mentioned the possibility of cards, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting you mentioned that, and the role that discipline plays. I think like a spotlight on a team that has not something that you'd obviously be able to see as a discipline issue, but a potential problem. Chelsea. Now,
Wow.
whether the viewers know or not, Chelsea are the team with the highest amount of yellow cards in their team at the moment, which might say one of two things. It might say they're terrible tacklers. They've got poor skulls everywhere in their team. Or it is saying they're a bit more feisty, right? They're getting stuck in and they're not letting teams kind of play through them. Now, it'd be interesting to, hear your thoughts on what do you think that means for Chelsea, but also kind of see what kind of dangers there are on that. So I'll start with someone else. What about Colm? We haven't heard from you for a while.
I mean, it's always good to have a bit of fight within your team and everything, but I think it's a very dangerous game for him to play. To be fair, scrap happened on the side of pitch, and like the only player that didn't get involved was Cole Palmer. He just sat down and let everyone get on with it, which I found it hilarious that he just sat there and watched. But I think Chelsea have to be really careful because obviously they're picking up cards left, right, and centre at the minute, and it only takes 1-2 games, a couple more yellow cards, and players are going to start having to miss games because they've reached the limit.
Yeah.
We've seen how easy the PGMOL and the referees are giving out cards this season. Obviously, the famous Bruno Fernandes one, that wasn't a red card. So, yeah, I think Chelsea have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, definitely. Tiny?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But like Colm said, it's a bit of fight, innit? Like Chelsea last season, we knew the issues they had. They've still got a very young team as well. So it's a building process for them, innit? But I don't mind. They can get loads of cards, loads of suspensions. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Encouraging them even.
Yeah, man. Like everyone's encouraging 10 to stay that don't support Man United and that.
We just want the best. We just want the best for Man U.
No, that's definitely not the best for Man U.
Sure.
Cool. And Trim?
I'm wondering if because obviously they've got the new manager in Maresca, and that is it that how things were the season before, were they seen as pushovers? Are they trying to now change their brand and be seen as like they're intentionally being this way so that teams have a different, like they set up against Chelsea differently? Those are the type of thoughts I have. Yes, it will impact the team if they're not careful, but I think maybe they're trying to set something up, like a structure, and go play a certain way so that, like I said, it's almost something that teams will have to be like, oh, when we go to Chelsea, we have to be like this because they're gonna come at us, and we're gonna expect a physical game. So yeah, who knows? We'll definitely see how it goes, but I think that it will bite them in the arse at some point. Maybe they've got an idea of, okay, we get up to this point, and then we just kind of, see how it goes. But it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds.
Now, what's interesting about this is that now the teams that you kind of deem as aggressive or play like a certain way are not at the top of this list.
No, yeah,
right?
lower, yeah.
Well, they have one person that is kind of there. And I think Cole mentioned an important factor, that they're playing a dangerous game, because if you look at the players that have yellow cards, they have 3 players that have 3 or more yellow cards. They have 2 players on 5 yellow cards, right? So if you get to 10, you get a suspension. Now, they have 3 players, one of them being Cole Palmer, right? So their key, their talisman is racking up. Now, the irony is that Arsenal have had 2 red cards and don't have 1 player on 3 yellow cards. They don't have 1, right? Which is interesting. So I think that they are playing a dangerous game. I think that they are, like, there's a level of aggression you need to understand. And I think, like, I know as an Arsenal fan, when Arteta first came in, he tried to get players to be aggressive and be on the front foot. And that just ended up with Xhaka getting sent off, Gabriel getting sent off, loads of sending offs, and we was down to 10 men a few times. But I think, like, there's a level of control that probably needs to be implemented in the Chelsea team, because you can't just keep on relying on being aggressive. They've got 2 defenders, important defenders, on 5 yellow cards. So they've got Fofana and they've got Correa, who seem to be the starters for them now. So those are 2 important players for them on 5 yellow cards already. But yeah, I think if it's helped them get further up the table, then so be it. But I wouldn't say it's like a discipline issue. I just think it's a strategy that they need to refine, or else they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it is intentional to a certain extent, but then they can't control what the ref does anyway. But I think it would be really interesting to revisit in, don't know, maybe about like 10 games, after a few shows, we go back and look at whether they actually have kind of reeled it in a bit, or whether they're just being
I think they'll be
reckless.
I think they'll be wary of it. I think that they'll be very conscious of it, because, like, when it comes to important games, they'll be like, "Well, okay, cool. 5 games from now, we've got this team. We need to make sure you don't get any yellows. Like, we need to make sure that this doesn't happen, because if you rack up, you miss this game." So I think that when it comes to overall strategy, they will pay attention to those details. But I think that they have enough in attack to kind of, you can't replace Cole Palmer. I'm not saying that, but we've got enough in attack that if players get yellows, they can replace Felix with Madueke. They can replace. I don't think they can replace Nico Jackson, who's actually in good form at the moment, but they can replace their attack. They've got Neto, blah blah blah. But if you lose your defenders, I don't think they've got like for like players that they can replace them.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Good.
But yeah, did anybody else want to say something on the matter before we move on?
I mean, I think it'll be quite interesting because I'm actually going to be going to the United Chelsea game at Old Trafford. I've got tickets, so I'm going to be going. So it'll be interesting to see, obviously, because we're judging it by what we're showing on TV. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive they actually are, like live, because you only see certain parts, don't you, when it's on
True.
TV.
That's right.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and we also have to take into consideration what they got yellow cards for. I don't remember them getting yellow cards for like kicking the ball away or anything like that, but there could be a lot of dissent. There could be a lot of, continual fouls. So it's not just one bad challenge, it's continual.
Totting up.
Exactly. So they're niggling at teams. So it means that they're being aggressive all over the park and boom, 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 which is how you should be. But eventually it tallies up and it becomes a yellow. So that would be quite interesting.
When's the United Chelsea game, Cole?
It is on the 3rd of November.
Cool. Nice one. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Cool.
That is gonna be good.
Well, now that probably takes us on to the next subject of the most exciting time of the year, which is the internationals and friendlies, which in particular, I know that Tommy loves internationals. Like now,
Definitely not.
Right? As a Man U fan, all right, we'll start with you. As a Man U fan, we're talking about international breaking out and does it hinder teams' momentums? Is this actually a good time to have that break for you?
Yeah.
Or would you like to redeem yourself before the break?
I would have liked if Man United done something a bit better before the break, but I think in general we've been a bit. I'm not sure what kind of performance we're gonna have, so I'm not sure what the international break will do for us. Hopefully, the few players that we have that aren't playing for their countries at the moment, hopefully the rest will help them and can start after the break in a bit more, well, with a bit of form. Because kind of find at the moment it's just a bit up and down, but I really don't like 10. So yeah,
so you don't like him at all now. You don't need no time to cook
about
anymore.
the manager or the number?
I said a little while. I said to be fair, I said from the first few games of the season, like I'm just seeing the same issues with him, and if you're not correcting the mistakes that you're doing and you're just making the same mistakes, it doesn't seem to me like much improvement in it.
What is it that you've noticed?
Silly things like he's bought players and then he's benching them. Like, if you believe that these players are better than the players that we have, why are they not playing? Like, just general basic stuff that he's not doing. His in-game management for me is shocking. Like, it doesn't make no sense to me. We need goals, and then you bring on someone like Anthony.
Yeah.
Like,
when he first started, it wasn't too bad though. When he came on that game, the last game,
no? Brazilian Robin, no?
Did he score? Assist?
He was really close, and I was waiting for him to do the spinny, the helicopter.
The Tasmanian
it's more of a sycamore. You know the sycamore, when you let go of the sycamore seed in it.
Is it? You know, like that. I think maybe he was trying to be like, you know, the Mighty Ducks when they did the trick where it spins round and distracts everyone.
Yeah.
Hucklepuck or something.
Boys,
Shucklepuck.
Before it
Shucklepuck.
was Torval and Dean, bro, doing
But
the
he's not
ice
even
skating.
distracting no one. He's just
Fair enough.
yeah. Hopefully the international break does a little good for us and
Yeah.
a few players get some rest and yeah, because you got a few fixtures after the break that could be a bit tricky for us.
Okay.
Cool.
What about you, Trim?
Oh, I'm 50-50. Because obviously we are winning games. But also we always seem to like we players will a lot of our players go out and then come back injured. I don't want anything like that to happen. We've just lost Allison, and that's not because of the international break, but he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. I think that Kelleher will be he'll be on duty, so we can't afford to lose him. McAllister's possibly, yeah. There's a lot going on. Considering we've got two main players that are possibly going to be out, and Allison's definitely not going to be sorted before the break ends. So I'm just not looking forward to hearing that anybody else gets injured, because that is definitely going to be the thing that does hinder Liverpool as far as because Chelsea's not going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. It's not going to be a walk in the park. So yeah, we'll see how the internationals go. What is it? We've got Greece and Finland, is it? So yeah.
Well, before then, like tomorrow, there is a blockbuster game of Liechtenstein versus Hong Kong. So I'm sure most
Big
people will be locked in to that blockbuster game with loads of Premier League superstars involved. Yes, carry on.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I just need us to. I need everybody to come on home. Just come on home.
Come on home.
Yeah.
And so come on home. All right. What are you saying about international?
This international break would have come at a perfect time if our glorious, masterful tactician didn't decide to go away on holiday and not do any extra training. But now he's decided to sod off abroad somewhere. So yeah, well done, Ten Hag. Another fantastic tactic you've pulled off there. Congratulations.
He must need it. He must be like.
What he needs is so that we all get, if we don't perform well at our jobs, it's called a P45.
That's what he needs. Oh, he needs a P. No, sorry, that's not. But yeah, he needs one of those. No oil.
We need to keep people in jobs. You know,
well,
it's good for the economy.
Not Ten Hag. It's not Ten Hag. I'll tell you what then. I'll tell you what. Yeah, one of you two, you take Ten Hag at your club, and we'll have Arteta, or we'll have Slot or somebody.
Slot right in.
Arteta doesn't like Manchester living there anymore.
See,
Tiny.
He
couldn't do that. Like it'd be too much of a traitor. So he just can't go to Manchester. Or we definitely would 100%.
Yeah. See this.
Sharing is caring. I thought. Is that the saying? Sharing is caring. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've got like an old. Freddie Ljungberg used to be our manager. If you want to try him out,
it couldn't be any worse than Ten Hag.
I mean, for me, the international break only hinders people if you have momentum. And if they come away from the international break with injuries, I think that for some people it's a nice break. Like they don't have breaks in between, and if you're not playing for your country, then the training's less intense. There's less pressure. You can kind of chill, which some players don't get, right? Because you're playing international, you're playing Champions League, you're playing Club World Cup, you're playing all these other things, so they don't really get the break. So some players it's fine. I do think that I don't know how necessary some of these are, to be honest. Like I feel like if we look at the bigger picture of football, players are saying we're playing a bit too much, right? We're playing a bit too much, and
They are. So.
I get they're getting paid a lot of money, but if these players, we want them to run faster, we want them to score more goals, we want them to do certain things, and they're saying I'm tired, we have to recognize that they're still human, right? Very highly paid humans, but can we find a way maybe of managing minutes of these things? So like internationals, might there be different rules? Might it be like, you know what, you can have 10 subs and sub them on, so actually we can help manage the minutes of these players, prevent injuries, etc., etc. Because we have to find a way of balancing the fact of serving your country, but also understanding their day job is what pays for them and their family, but also brings limelight to your country, right?
Cool.
Because so I think there's a conversation about how we balance that, but yeah, I'm not really fussed about whether we do that or not. But I suppose that kind of brings us on to our next point about the run-ups. So after the international break, we've got Chelsea, Man U, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Well, how about we start with Liverpool and finish with Chelsea? We go the other way around. So Liverpool, Trimzini, you take us through your next 5 games.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay, so our next 5 games are going to be, we've got Chelsea at home in the Prem. So, yeah, that's going to be a very interesting game. We've got Leipzig away in the Champions League. We have Arsenal away in the Prem, which is, yeah, that's going to be a tight one, of course. Brighton away in the EFL Cup. And then we've got Brighton again at home at Anfield in the Prem. So I don't know where we're going to be in the league standings after that. It's going to be very interesting, I think. So, yeah, as I take a deep breath.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. Because when I look at Arsenal's next 5 games,
Yeah.
I think to myself, there's only one, maybe 2 games in there that I would be like, okay, cool, there's going to be tough ones.
Yeah.
So our next game is against Bournemouth. Like we should slap Bournemouth like a naughty child.
I hope you don't lose that one.
What's that?
I hope you don't lose that one after those bars.
Like we won't.
Okay. Oh, can we start? Is there something we can start? Sorry, go on. Go ahead.
We will. Bournemouth away, and then we've got Shakhtar at home. Now Shakhtar have not necessarily performed well in the Champions League. They've not been. It's not really had a great lookout. Like their last game, they lost 3-0 at home to Atalanta, should I say. So for me, that fills me with a bit of confidence that we should slap them again.
It's a lot of slapping.
Yeah.
Man.
Slap them. Okay, cool. We should, discipline them. And then with that, hopefully that carries us into our next game, which is 5 days away from that game, which is against Liverpool, which will need a lot of preparation for, a lot of rest. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So in principle, you will have a shorter rest than us.
Definitely.
Between Leipzig and Liverpool, and you will have to travel from Leipzig back. So for me, we have an advantage, but we're playing against one of the best teams out there, so I don't think so. And then we have Preston North End, and then we have Newcastle United away.
Newcastle, cool.
Yeah, 12:30 kickoff as well, and we hate those. They're very unpredictable. So yeah, those are our next 5 games.
Cool.
So Man U.
Oh God. Well, we've got. In fact, do you want to do Man U and I'll do Chelsea?
Go on.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Are we forgetting about me already, Vapor?
No, I was just going round and I was looking looking
all
at
right.
order, sorry.
Well, we've got Brentford. They've been on a run with these early goals, so hopefully we can put a stop to
On
that.
the one.
Hopefully we can put a stop to that because they are starting games real fast. That's at home as well. Yeah. Old Trafford's not the fortress it used to be. Then we've got a away game in the Europa League against Fenerbahce. Man United has been a bit unpredictable in the Europa League this season.
It's not just any game though, is it?
Nah.
It's your ex. You're playing against your ex.
So yeah, that should be a good game. Then we've got West Ham away after that. West Ham's been a bit up and down, so depending on what kind of United turn up, I'm sure we could deal with West Ham accordingly. Then we've got EFL Cup game against Leicester. Leicester seem to be finding life in the Prem a bit more difficult this time round. So I'm a bit more confident about that game. And then our 5th game, Colm was saying it'll be at that game there, Chelsea versus Man U. And Man U will be at home in that one as well. So 1 or 2 tricky fixtures in there. But we should gather some points in this little period, hopefully.
You better.
Sounds good.
I don't have much.
I need to.
As you can see, I don't have much confidence in United at the moment. So, yeah.
Where do you think after those 5 games? Where do you think you could be put? Like potentially, do you feel like you'll be closer to the mid-table or?
14th.
Oh Lord!
No,
Come on, home.
maybe like 13.
Wow, they got jokes. Okay. Cool. Well, we got Chelsea.
Yeah, we got Chelsea come.
Yeah, so obviously first game back for him is an away trip to Liverpool. Then they've got an away trip to Panathinaikos as well in the UEFA Conference League. Then they've got a back-to-back header with Newcastle, first one in the Premier League at home, and then they've got to travel to the Toon Army for the Carabao Cup, and then again the travel into Old Trafford is the last one.
Nice. That's gonna be tasty. Let's see how good is with that.
Chelsea have got some really tough games just from the Premier League. I mean, Liverpool, Newcastle, United, Arsenal is the next couple of games.
Yeah. Then Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah.
Boy. And they might have a few suspensions
as well. Those games are going to be sticky.
Yeah, that's when those yellow cards might come to bite Chelsea. Because
they'll wrap up then, and then it will just stick out. But yeah, I think with looking at the next 5 games, I think that is the point where teams start to kind of pull away, and the shape starts to form. Of how it starts to look like. I mean, at this very point last season, Tottenham were flying, and you know what Tottenham did? They did a Tottenham.
They got real Spursy.
They got real Spursy. They didn't. So yeah. But I think that this is really the next 5 games are going to be really important, and hopefully the internationals don't mess anyone up, because the next 5 games are really important. So so that is it. So we kind of move on to the final topic for today, which is the winners of the week and the losers of the week. So, can we have your nominations, Trim, Zini, as you might have to drop off very shortly?
Yeah. I think I have to give the winners. I have to give it to Liverpool, just because they're top and because I wasn't expecting it. I think, or I could just give it to Arne Slot if that's the case, because obviously being the for as a Liverpool manager, being successful in that short period of time doesn't really mean a lot, but it kind of. But I'm happy with it anyway. So I think he, as far as winners, I'd say it was him. As far as losers, I just keep it simple and just say Wolves. They're not, absolutely nothing's going on. They're not getting any results. So yeah, that would be my winners and losers.
Okay, cool. Tiny?
My winners. Do you know what? Let me big up Onana. He's got the most clean sheets so far.
What do you mean
And,
when you say the most clean sheets? Like, yeah, well done
in
as
the
well.
Premier
No,
League.
no,
In
like,
the Premier League. Put a
In
pat
the
on the back
Prem?
for some.
most
yeah.
clean sheets in the
Yeah.
Prem this season.
Golden Glove
So
at the
far.
moment.
So far.
How does that work? I'm confused.
Uh,
Has he missed a couple of games or something? Because how does that work? Because you lot are 14th.
Listen, they've won
Well,
some.
Is
they've-
he
and they've drawn some.
doing porkies on us? He's
I
telling
don't
us.
know.
The games they've won
Yeah.
won without
Clean sheet. Yeah, basically. And we've had a couple draws in
and
there.
had 2 draws that they didn't concede.
Fair. Okay, got it.
And
Yeah.
my losers,
Mathematical magic.
are definitely Spursy, because the way
yeah.
that Brian done that crazy
Move on them. Pump.
that was wild. I don't know. I thought the game was finished, and yeah. So Spursy, well done doing a Spursy.
Lads, I got to shoot. Big up. See you in a bit, please.
Bless Trim.
Bless brother. See you, come. Bye.
Cool.
But-
So, so controversially, I don't want to say Wolves, right? Just because I think they play decent football, and I think like other than Brentford, they've had a quite difficult run-in. Like they've had some top teams in their first 7 games. So I think they'll pick up points. I think they'll pick up the points in the next 5 games. I don't want to give that to them. I will say the winners of the week are West Ham, because they managed to get some points. They've been terrible. And they managed to score, which is good. They scored 4-1, so made it look like the win was convincing. So I like that. And my losers of the week are also Tottenham, because the smoke that you were shouting about and giving to Man United just the week before all came crashing down.
What a difference a week makes.
Exactly. About a week ago. No, it definitely is, because I can't believe that they went from showing we can beat Man United 3-0 away, we can beat the world, we did it the Target way, because I did it my way, and then the next week, oh my days, we're 2-0 up, we're the best team in the world, in the galaxy, we could beat Space Jam if they gave us a chance to play them, we're the best. Wait. 2 seconds later, and then in the second half, what the hell? Man.
Literally that game of 2 halves, innit?
I feel sorry for Ange, because it seems like it's not him, it's them. Like it
Yeah.
feels like he's putting them up. There's some games I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But mostly it's like, how does your team lose its brain and its balls so quickly that you just lose. Like I don't know. And you see the frustration in his face. But
It was when
again,
the
they might
Spurs were celebrating when they didn't beat City. That
That's when
killed
he
me.
knew they were losers. He was like,
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, bro. As much as I don't like, you have your rivalries and stuff in it. I could never celebrate so much my team losing like that, man. That's the it's horrible.
mate, you don't have to be happy about it, but like you should have to be sad about it, but you don't have to be happy that my team's losing and it prevents them. Like, nah, you lot are losers. And then you didn't go Champions League and now look at you. But anyway, it is what it is. But they're my losers for the week. If I had a chance to put losers for the year, I'd put them losers for the year. I'd put them losers for the year every year, even ahead of the teams that get relegated. They are the losers of all losers. But anyway, but that is it. We're wrapping up here. This has been a quick show. We've had Trimzini. He had to leave because he had some other stuff to do. We didn't have a couple of the normal folk, but we did have Colm join us, which we much appreciated. Thank you very much. Big up to the network as well. Big up to anyone who rewatches this or watches this live. Big you all up and blessings to you all. We'd like to say peace out. If you want to say your own goodbyes.
Bless, don't trip.
Don't. Go for it, Colm. Go on.
I'd say bye-bye. I'm no special. See you later, guys.
I thought you say something like a superhero, like, and we keep the streets safe. You know, stay in school, kids. But yes, anyway, don't trip on your way out. Blessings. See you.
3-5 double bass recap.